What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Elevator Life.
Welcome back to Guangzhou, Nick.
Thank you very much. After a long 2-week trip, happy to be back home, taking care of business where I should be.
How was Chengdu?
Chengdu was good, besides getting a few iPhones stolen. Very fun experience, very big wine fair, very cool to see, and a very high demand for Oregon and Washington wines. They're really well received, so that was good. Same with Shanghai.
Why were you traveling with 2 iPhones?
One for the one for the U.S., one for China, and they both made their way out of my pocket by some very lucky Chinese citizen, I suppose. So, other than that, you know, it was a win-win. You can get new ones, right?
Yep. Well, that does kind of actually relate to what we're going to be talking about today. But Shanghai's a fantastic city. If you have not been to Shanghai, definitely get up there.
I love that city. Enough said. It's great. Probably my favorite one in China, mainland China. Hong Kong still edges it out, but Shanghai's fun.
Seems like every time one of us goes up there, we come back with a new wardrobe.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true. Got a lot of new shirts, a new suit, ties, the whole 9 yards. So pretty excited. New wine events are going to be definitely looking good.
Fantastic. Okay, guys, we want to get right into it today. But before we start talking about the topic, we want to talk about something that we deal with a lot here on the Elevator Life. Because the Canton Fair is coming up, we are getting truckloads of emails from people who want to meet up, who want to maybe look for stuff for them at the Canton Fair, all that goodness. So we want to kind of walk through how we deal with those here today.
Yeah, well, to start, the comments, the emails, the Facebook messages, love all of them. Love hearing from you guys.
Keep them coming.
Really great hearing everybody's stories. It's really exciting, actually. From all over the globe, we've heard from a bunch of different people trying to do a bunch of different things in China. That's excellent.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Moving on to, you know, if you're in Guangzhou and you want to meet up and talk about China, something like that, maybe grab a beer, or maybe we happen to be in one of your cities, that's fine as well if time allows, but do know we run a business here in Guangzhou, and if we're on vacation, or if we're traveling in China rather, odds are 99% it's for business. Yeah, not for pleasure, just because we leave China to get a vacation rather than travel within it. But I guess the one thing we do want to talk about is just, we get a lot of emails regarding business topics and things that we felt we've pointed to before in the past, and maybe it hasn't,
especially
clearly
on our videos.
Yeah.
We get a lot of emails of people that their questions are asked on their videos. So there's the search bar up there on the right, and the most interesting emails, we just don't want to come off like we aren't paying enough attention to you. But if you write us an email and it's along the lines of, hey, here's my business, can you do this for me? Like, almost like, develop my business plan. It's like, guys, we get a lot of emails on that subject every day. If you do, and if you are serious, there's channels that we've set up to filter people who are serious.
Yeah.
What we have discovered, because we're wasting a lot of time with these kind of emails, because, guys, this isn't our business. This site is strictly about information.
Yeah.
Strictly about, we realize there's not enough expats talking about business here in China, and so there's not enough resources on the internet, and we wanted to create that. With that said, we don't have enough time, because we do run our businesses on the side, or our businesses and this on the side.
Yeah,
we don't have enough time to sit down and answer everyone's emails, you know, and especially the emails along the lines of, I have these products in Mexico, can you import them and sell them for me? Well, I'm sorry, but probably not, because we do run our own business. If you're really serious about it, all you got to do is just go to the consultation page, fill out, give us as much information as possible, and then when we do get to it, we'll be able to get back to you with a detailed email on the questions that you asked. More going into it, it takes someone, why do we use that consulting page? Because it takes someone more effort to go through that than it is to send a 2 to 3 sentence email that's really broad, that's going to take a lot of effort to answer.
Yeah, exactly. Like you just said, these filters really, it's more effort to just go to that page, fill out specific questions and details, and then if you're serious about it and you like what we have to say, then there's, you put in a little more effort. Then you go to that page where we offer a bunch of different things, everything under the sun, and then from there it moves forward. Okay, this person is really serious, because like I said, we've seen a lot of people, and this filter really helps us. These filters really kind of help us see, who's really serious about it, who's actually going to come out here, and there's been a lot, and it's great. And then we also see a lot of the other traffic who was just trying to, gauge interest, but really isn't ready yet. Maybe it's not the time, maybe they'll come back. We're happy for you to come back, and maybe take that jump sometime with us, but until that time, then yeah, you kind of have to go through the proper channels, because like you said, if we were to answer all these emails, I cleaned out my inbox today, and it was from 8 a.m. to almost noon, and that was just from a 2-week business trip, on top of, those are responses, on top of junk mail, on top of elevator. It's just, it catches up with you. So it'd be a full day job, responding to all these if we had to do it. So that's why definitely pay attention to, where we kind of point you to go, in which directions, and see if this is something you really want to pursue. And if it is, we're definitely here for you.
Just head to the consulting page, guys. If you're serious about it, we're going to help you out a ton. Just head there. Going into the topic today, foreigners in China, what's been our experience? How are you treated when you arrive here in China? What countries does it compare to? Are they nice? Do you kind of have that like dangerous feeling when you're in Mexico when you don't really know what's going to happen? That's what we want to talk about today. What are you actually going to experience? How are they going to treat you when you're here in China?
Yeah, it's we get that question a lot, because you hear, even the news right now, there's the bird flu, the new one, apparently here in China.
It's always evolving.
Yeah, you hear, Asia's so unsafe, and then, there's things like Hangover 2 in Thailand, and this and that. That's a different country, and Asia is developing.
Our Saturday nights.
It's a developing part of the world, but and our families, is it dangerous out there? And it's like, no, in regards to what we expect or what we see from other parts of the world, it's not like you said compared to Mexico, for example. So we just want to cover if you're welcome, if you're unwelcome, like are you approached, are you avoided, are you treated really well, or are you treated like a target, someone who can take advantage of you? We're going to kind of run through those points and let you know our experience so far in Guangzhou and a few of these other cities.
Okay, first off, if you're new here, how are you going to be treated? In general, Chinese people are fantastic. They're extremely nice. Mm-hmm. They're extremely helpful. You might not get that first impression if you go up and start shouting English, or I'm the lost foreigner, trying to find your way, speaking English, getting frustrated when you can't communicate with anyone.
Yeah, exactly. If you're just if you're trying to speak English how you normally speak English at home, or your native language at home, the odds of a Chinese national understanding you are very, very slim. So you have to slow it down. We see a lot of the lost foreigners here, and we help them out when we can, or we just normally every time. But you do see them with the Chinese screaming and pointing at a map, and the Chinese person is just trying to digest everything, and there's no way they can. So yeah, at first you're gonna get maybe, they're a little standoffish, or maybe like not paying attention to you, or kind of avoiding you. That's not true. They're very open to help you. They're very welcoming, but you have to do it at their pace. You're in their country.
They are shy. They're a shy country, I would say, in general, compared to us being aggressive and upfront, kind of bombarding. They're more of a stand back-ish, but they're fantastic people, and they're more willing to help in different aspects, as in negotiating and stuff like that. That's like in a lot of countries, if they see you as a foreigner, they're gonna kind of see dollar bills when you're out there shopping. I do remember when my parents came, and I took them to the market, tried to prep them on the negotiating. The prices will start at probably double than what they will actually agree to sell it to you. Oh, yeah. But some people are okay with getting taken a little bit in the country. My mom, for example, okay, seems like a good price, in which you're just like, okay.
It's a good price by U.S. standards. That's the thing. By U.S. standards, that's a great deal. But here in China, like you said, foreigners are kind of they're seen as, I guess, being like middle or higher class individuals being in this country. So they'll see them, and like you said, they'll see dollar signs. When you go to the market, they do it to the Chinese, but also, bartering is the way of life here. But as a foreigner, they through the roof high, and where I'll even walk up, we'll speak Chinese to the shop owner. Hey, I've lived here for 2 years, that's great, how much is this? And they give me the price like I literally landed that day. I'm like, oh. And that's just part of the culture here. You just have to accept it, that's how they do business. That's how they negotiate, that's what they like to do.
Regards with safety in China, this place is extremely safe. I feel 100% of the time extremely safe here. It's not even comparable to walking, say, what you would feel like in like downtown Chicago at night, or even downtown, or not even close to a place like South America. Over here in China, we walk around sometimes middle of the night, maybe thinking about business on a Friday night, really late or something like that. We've tested those waters, and they're extremely safe.
Yeah, it comes back to the safety thing about it, where in China, the thing I worry about, the only thing is again maybe pickpocketed.
That's not normally at night. That can happen during the day on the metro. Yeah. I've never experienced it, but you do hear some stories about someone's got a purse and they've been pickpocketed.
Yeah,
small things that exist everywhere.
There's petty crimes here.
Yeah.
There's none of that assaults, muggings.
Thank God.
Those people holding you up. None of that stuff. They're very, like you said, very, very safe. The only thing him and I joke about is like getting hit by like a taxi or by a car, because the traffic rules here, that's one thing. Safety-wise, whoa, that's what you have to be careful of, is the drivers, because even if it's two-way traffic, it could be going all one direction, one way. You literally have to look both ways regardless of what street you're on. Because that's how it is here. Again, developing country, the traffic rules.
It's like all over Asia, really. And I'll never forget when we were first on a bus here, and I couldn't believe that the lines didn't exist for anybody else. It's like a orchestrated circus on the roads. It's really interesting to see.
Yeah.
I don't notice anymore, but everyone that we have over here is just first reaction. And it's like everywhere in Asia. Vietnam's probably crazier, actually. Yeah. Go there and you notice the motorbikes everywhere, and oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. But yeah, just the streets in Asia are crazy. But what's weird is you don't see accidents.
Yeah.
I do want to tell a story, though, from yesterday. Yesterday, we were stuck in traffic for about 10 to 15 minutes. It was unbelievable. 2 o'clock. Stuck in just this dead stop traffic.
Yeah.
Finally get up there. A guy has stopped in the middle of the road and is like organizing his trunk. That's it.
That's just how it is.
The entire freeway was stopped and slowed down because he was, I don't know, maybe OCD a little bit and wanted to clean out his truck a little bit.
3-lane. The guys at the front of the center lane, a huge roundabout downtown. And everybody has to go around, and it's like, what the hell is going on? It's 2 o'clock. Like, there's traffic in Guangzhou, but not this bad. Yeah. Guy just wanted to organize his truck. Who knows? Regardless, those. I was in one bender, and I've been here more than 3 years. Knock on wood. But that's nothing. So hopefully.
You know what? It's interesting recording this podcast and hearing us talk about this stuff compared to when we were first here. And I always compare it to people that come over here that we know that have come over here through this site, and they'll get super angry with some of the cultural differences.
Yeah.
And we've almost come to this point where it's almost like that movie Bad Boys 2, where it's like, ooh, sa. But that's natural to us now. When we see stuff like that, we'll just be like, oh man, Chinese. When usually, back when you're new to this, you're like, idiots.
Yeah.
How could you be doing that?
How is this happening?
Yeah.
What's going on? Even going to, we were on our way to get frames made. We were on an errand yesterday. That's the journey we were talking about. And even that, we're like on the way there. It's like, well, depending on our attitude after this, we're either gonna stay out for a beer or we're gonna taxi straight home. It's just kind of those things where you just accept it. That's how the culture is. That's how people do it here. It's these little humps that once you adjust to them and look past them, it's great. Life's easy, but when you first get those initial speed bumps of charging you these exuberant prices, to taking you roundabout ways, the things you see that make no sense to you, that's just how it is here. And the sooner you look past that, the easier it is.
So getting into a little bit of the business side, a lot of people will that are dealing with that will get really, really frustrated. Where this place can be extremely frustrating to do business. And it gets way better if you understand the culture, so we're going to try and lay that out a little bit. When you're talking with them, just because the price starts a little bit high, like a negotiation, even with business, they expect you to negotiate that down.
Yeah.
If not, that's on your fault. That's not them being terrible. That's just them being, that's just the culture.
That's the name of the game.
That's not them being angry. So they're not always trying to wiggle. Well, they are always trying to wiggle it out, but that's just part of the business game. So you should try and wiggle your way. More along the lines of, do they always want to make your product bad? No. They always want to make their margin, so they're going to make the product that you tell them to make it in the exact way you make it. So if you don't go, oh, I want this material used, just because they use a cheaper material doesn't mean they're bad people. It's just
You didn't specify.
You didn't specify, so I can make more money making it this way, so I will.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
that's how it's thought here. You know, so I mean, it's a really safe place. It's just the way you're treated is strictly based on their culture.
Yeah, exactly. It's nothing personal. A lot of people think, oh, it's because I'm from here, or oh, because I'm a foreigner. No, that's how they do things. They do it when we're in the markets, when we're at factories, when we're at meetings. There'll be the same exact conversation going on next to us in Chinese between two Chinese people. That's how it is, and you know, you just have to accept it. But yeah, overall, our experience here, fantastic.
I do want to say one more thing. When I love the situations when you have your translator and you'll say, "Hey, can you tell her we want this bigger?" And it will take like 3 minutes to translate, and they'll just be going conversation, and then the translator come back, okay. Like, what?
What were you talking about?
Okay, in the Chinese language, the explanations and how it works, they can be a lot longer. And the way the minds work, it's a lot more complicated. So first it's said, then this is said, then this is said, then this is said, all these clarifying points. So, got to take that into consideration when you're talking to them, even if you're talking in English. Yeah. Okay? Don't be like, oh man, they are retarded because they're not understanding me. It's like, no, this is how they almost talk in Chinese. You say this, they say this, you say this, they say this.
So much clarification.
So much clarification is needed, but a lot of foreigners will be like, oh my gosh.
It's like even in Chinese that they say, it's like, what is the like my meaning is, and they're like, 所以你的意思. It's like, so your meaning, it's like, he just said my meaning, and you said your meaning, like, done A, B, A, B, A, or A, B, B, A, A, B. It's back and forth. It should just be, in the US, this is what I'm saying. Okay, got it. Here's my response. But here, just back and forth.
And there's really no way that you can prepare yourself for it. Anyone that's living in Asia will tell you that. So when you're coming here, coming to China, expect a safe place where negotiation's necessary. It's not that they're bad people. Yeah. Okay? And also expect to get frustrated. You will get frustrated, but the best way to deal with anything, whether it's in the business or if you're just traveling, the best way to deal with it is know that you're going to get frustrated and don't blame it on the Chinese. Because if you start blaming it, oh man, this guy, then you're just going to get more frustrated, hate your time and want to get out of here.
And they're not going to be as well receptive to you either. They get hostile too.
They'll get hostile if you're hostile at them for them doing what they normally do.
Yeah, it's like they're doing nothing wrong. Yeah. You're the one doing something wrong, so remember that. Just save that in your brain that
best way to enjoy China.
You're gonna be frustrated. You just have to roll with the punches here, and that's the best advice we can give. If you're a foreigner coming here to experience it, especially Canton Fair, get ready. Your cabs are gonna pick you up outside. You're supposed to use the meter. They know a lot of people coming to this fair are business owners. They're not gonna use the meter. They're gonna charge you double.
Yeah. But if you go use the meter, okay.
Yeah. It's just. It's just things like that where you just have to be ready for it.
So they're nice people, guys. When you're coming here, expect nice people. It's a safe place, except for maybe the food. The food is a little iffy, really iffy. And expect to get frustrated at times, but keep that frustration to yourself. Don't let it explode out of you. Don't blame it on them, because that will lead you down the path you don't want to be in. China's a fantastic place. We welcome you over here. Come experience it. If not just for a little adventure.
Yeah. Biggest trade fair coming up. Hope to see some of you here. Hope to hear from some of you.
Alright guys, as always, hustle this week, live elevated, and we'll talk to you soon.
Cheers everyone.